What up, gamers? Squirrely here. Thank you guys for joining me as always. Today we're going to take a nice deep dive down into one of the most expensive and rare and just crazy items in TF2 that comes in unusual form, and it's actually a pyro hat, right? I shouldn't say it's a hat, but it's a pyro item. It's a cosmetic that is ridiculously rare, ridiculously expensive, and to be honest, you could play TF2 and be in trade servers for years and years and years and never once see this item ever. That's how rare it is. It's become a collector's item. It's just gone up in price over the years, and as far as I know, it hasn't been unboxed in a very long time, which is kind of funny because when you think about pyro unusuals in particular, they're usually low tier or really cheap, unless it's like, you know, a Halloween effect or a god tier effect on like a Misk or like a pyromancer. But most of the hats for pyro, they're pretty cheap, they're pretty affordable, even on some of the higher tier effects. So the fact that one of the most expensive and rare items in the entire TF2 economy is for pyro, to me is pretty funny. Not funny, but it's pretty cool. Before we get into the video, you guys know the drill. This is YouTube. In order for me to keep making these, I need your support. You guys have been awesome, but it takes 1 second. Smash the like button, share with your friends, subscribe if you haven't already. I don't know why you wouldn't. You're crazy. Don't you want to join the most prestigious and educated top fraggers and traders in the TF2 community? We have the best people. We have the best people, if you know what I'm saying. But anyways, let's get into the video. Thank you guys for your support. So let's just cut to the chase. I'm not going to tease you guys and drag it out because there's a lot to get to. The most expensive, one of the most rare items in the game for any item, especially for pyro, is the coffin kit. Now, if you're new to trading or you haven't been around a long time, you might have never seen this at all. It's not even a cosmetic that people wear a whole lot, maybe around Halloween because it's got a cool theme. But as an unusual, you've probably never seen it. To be honest, I don't think I've seen this in a trade server since, Pink Taco. That's how far back it goes. If you guys remember Pink Taco's trade server many years ago, there was a couple of people that would jump on there once in a while, some high tier collectors, and they would have coffin kits. And even back then, it was like, oh my gosh, wow, you almost never see them. You know they're hard to get, and it's basically one collector trading to another collector, meaning they gotta cough it up. They gotta make a very handsome bid in order to get these items off collectors' hands. So that's pretty cool, but I don't jump in trade servers a whole lot, almost never. Just basically when I'm cute for casual, I'll jump in a trade server to hang out and say hi. But I don't think I've seen one since then, and that was years ago, maybe 2012, 2013. That's how long it's been. I think it's important to give a little bit of background and history on this item and give the origin. So the coffin kit wasn't always known as the coffin kit. It actually came out in the Scream Fortress update in 2012, so a long time ago, and it was part of a set made by a creator named Zoe, which Zoe has a ton of items. Just go on this backpack and look at all the self-community made items. It's ridiculous amount, some very nice things that we've seen for many years. So thank you to Zoe for making so many cool items. But the coffin kit was actually called the cranial case, and it was part of a set. A very good looking set actually, but only 2 of these items have made it into the game. That, I don't know about you guys, but that melee, that would be an awesome thing to have, especially during Halloween. Even if it's only for pyro, I would sport that. That's pretty crazy looking, that's pretty spooky. So this is part of a set that was released in 2012, and as far as I know, none have been unboxed since then either. The last one I think that I've seen that's been unboxed is also from 2012, and there's actually a video of a guy unboxing a Blizzardy Storm coffin kit. I'll post a video here because he has a pretty funny reaction.
And let's uncrate it. I bet you it will be the Bizarre Bargain, which I do not have a spare of, so I won't become a strange. Let's go! Yes! Got my eyes covered. Oh my Jesus! This is awkward. I just uncrated an unusual! I was trying, the one time I tried to get a strange. Okay, I'll try and get my hands on another strange.
It's also funny to see not only that someone caught this live and you can see their reaction and their unboxing, not just an unusual, but one of the most rare unusuals in the entire game, this old YouTube video. But if you look at the comments, this guy's like, wow, it's cool, I unboxed this unusual, it's like $700 or $750 back then. Now, this is probably worth 2, 3, 4, who knows how many thousands of dollars. Blizzardy Storm, I'd have to check the most recent sales on it, but it's definitely worth double or triple what this guy thought it was worth a long time ago. So I'm guessing he sold it back then. Props to him, but you can just see over time the inflation and how much these things just keep going up and up and up in price. So you know that they're rare, but how rare exactly are they? Backpack.tf can give us a pretty good idea of how many are out there that exist, as far as we know, or as far as many that have been in circulation that people have been trading or posted for sale before. About 25 or 26 that we know of existence. There might be some other ones that are hidden out there or have never been available, but don't really count those. Most of them you can see are 1 of 1, 1 of 2, there's a couple 1 of 4s, but look at these effects too. These are very specific effects. There isn't a big range of, newer effects or different first gens. It's pretty limited, like the Halloween effects and a couple other lower tier effects. But look at the prices as well. This is the only item that I can think of, even on like an all class, like a misc or something. If you can get nuts and bolts and it's worth over 1,000 keys, that is ridiculous. So that just goes to show you that it's crazy rare and it's crazy expensive. So why exactly are these so expensive, like ridiculously expensive? You would think that, okay, I get it, it's rare, and there's not a whole lot of them, and it comes with some nice effects, that makes it more expensive, but really, is it worth thousands and thousands of keys for a Pyro hat? Really, it's just a Pyro cosmetic. Well, I think there's a couple different reasons. Number one, this was the only way you could pretty much make a misc for Pyro back in the day. For a long time, before the Pyromancer's mask and some of these other items, all class miscs and things, this was the only way to put 3 things on a Pyro, because you have it on your back. It's not covering your face, not covering your hat, your head. It's on the back. Also, the theme of these are amazing, since so many of them came out with Halloween effects, Cloudy Moon and Harvest Moon, these other kind of spooky effects. On the Pyro, the theme for the item, it's got a skull and a coffin. Like, it's the perfect theme. So I think that also it's rare. Collectors love them. You can, wear 3 at a time. The only thing is that the items usually kind of glitch, like as far as where the unusual is. I think they've patched that and fixed that, so it's not like in the player model's chest, or like floating out in the sky or something. But that's the only bummer if you get like a really high tier item and you're like, the effect isn't even showing up correctly. But as far as I know, it's been fixed for the most part. But these things are ridiculously expensive, as you can see. Collectors like to grab them. I have a sense of feeling that it kind of might be hard to sell, to be honest, because you can only sell them to people who have an insane amount of keys or pure or items, and then also people who would play Pyro and enjoy it, or other collectors. So there's a lot of people out there, a lot of buyers who maybe won't be able to either afford it, or they don't play Pyro, or they're not interested in paying that much. So when they do finally sell, I think they take a long time, but when they do, they can be worth a lot. So there's a quick little blast from the past of one of the most rare and most expensive unusuals in the entire game of TF2. I think this is such a cool item because I honestly forget that exists. For a long time, I would just forget that this thing is even out there until you see it like on backpack.tf, or you're looking up trades like, oh, I forgot about these things. And I'm always looking, Marketplace, Steam Community Market. Definitely there's been some sold in the past that I wish I could snag them for because they went for really cheap. But now they've pretty much been gobbled up. It's really hard to find them. If you do want to get one, there's so few for sale. You're going to be paying out the wazoo for one of these things. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Have you ever seen one of these in games? Would you ever want one? As far as I know, they cannot be unboxed. But if you did unbox one, especially with like a newer effect, Halloween effect from, like 2013, 14, 15, even with the newer ones, oh my gosh, this would be worth so much money. And the combos you can make with it now, I think, are even better. Think about it. You could have a Crone's Stone, a Coffin Kit, and then maybe like a Pyromancer's Mask and do a triple set. You can't really get any more spooky than that. That's ridiculous. That's a whole nother level. The spookiest, most expensive Pyro set you could ever make at all. Well, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Hopefully this is something interesting to you. When was the last time you saw an unusual coffin kit or even thought about it? It's one of those items in TF2 that's really beautiful and just nice and great theme, but you just don't really see them or think about them that much because there's so many items and the thing is just so old. But I'm curious too, what would be your guys' dream unusual? If you were to unbox an unusual coffin kit, what effect would it be and maybe why? I know what I would want. There's already a good amount of Halloween ones, but I would want probably just a good old classic Burning Flames. It'd be so expensive. Of course, on some of the newer Halloween effects, it'd be worth a lot too. But a Burning Flames coffin kit would be insanely expensive. Maybe one of the most expensive items in the entire game, just because it'd be so rare and in such demand. But that's what I would pick. But anyways, let me know what you guys think down below. Yeah, have a great one. I hope you're playing TF2 casual. We can jump on and say hi if you run into me. And I'm really looking forward to this Christmas update. We're going to get an update for sure. I'm just not sure how big it is. But even if we just get festives or some skins, I'll be happy with that. And we can talk about that when those new trading items come out. So have a great one, you guys. And until the next video, peace.